What's going on, guys? It's Pedro with Four Low Addicts here. Do you have a worn out steering knuckle, or do you have a knuckle that's worn out and it's got an oblong hole in it? Well, today I'm going to show you how to do this quick $21 fix to sleeve it and make that hole nice and round again so you can get the components back to being tight and get rid of that slop. Stay tuned. Thank you for joining us today. Have you ever dealt with the worn out steering knuckle? Well, today we're going to show you how to fix this oblong hole by drilling and tapping it and inserting this sleeve to get it back to spec so that it's nice, tight, and precise on our steering components. This sleeve is a great alternative to replacing the whole knuckle. I will go ahead and reiterate here that it could either be a temporary fix or just an alternative to replace it. I actually tapped the steering knuckle on my Jeep JK just to do an over knuckle steering conversion. But this is just basically going to return the actual hole back to how it's supposed to be. So basically this is actually a spare end. If you look at it right now, currently, you can even tell right here, you can see the lip here, how it is. And as you can see here, if I set it there, it's got a little bit of play. And it kind of on the top part, especially on the top part, you can see how much slop it has. Once this is pressed down, you can see how much it's moving side to side. So realistically, that shouldn't be going anywhere. That should just be, this is the other hole, right? But what we want it to do is we want it to be nice and snug. What this sleeve is going to do, if you look at this sleeve here, this is going to basically take it and it's going to be nice and tight once that drops in there, and it's going to return that back to how it's intended to go. So that gives you a good idea of how it's supposed to be. If you see this hole right here, it's oblong currently. You can even see this lip here. If you look right here, this is where it's oblong. It's actually lifted a little bit here, even from it when it pushes this way. You can see it on there. So what's going to happen is this sleeve, as you can see, it's going to make it nice and tight. Because this way, as you're steering, it's just going to move around every time you steer. Not only is it going to damage the steering knuckle even more, you're going to have a little bit of a sloppy steering with it. And that's what we're trying to eliminate here. So I'm going to go ahead and get that. I'm going to get that knuckle tapped. We're going to put this sleeve, and this is going to return this back as close to factory as we can. All right, guys, today we're using the 7/8 drill bit, and we're going to be using this sleeve that we purchased from Rock Jock. And these are actually intended for a JK, but because the steering setup that my buddy is using on his Toyota is the same size as the ones from the JK, we're going to go ahead and just use this sleeve. There's a lot of alternatives out there. We just really like how this is tapered. We really like how it's made. And I think this is a better alternative than some of the ones out there that, to our opinion. This is really just going to buy some time, whether he wants to continue to run this or in the future if he wants to upgrade. But for now, this $20 fix is going to basically save his whole steering knuckle. So if you've ever done this already and you've welded it, I'd like to hear your feedback. I'd like to hear your opinion, see what you did and how you did it and how it held up and some of the benefits to it. This one's not intended to be welded, so we're not going to weld it today. We're just going to put this on, and we're going to put the actual steering components back on and see how it goes. Now that we tapped the hole, we're ready to put the sleeve in. And basically it's gonna be as simple as pressing that in, then it gets kind of snug. Then you're just I'm gonna give it a couple taps, and then it's nice and snug. I'm gonna show you just real quick the difference from what it was to what it is now. It's nice and snug. There's no slop, there's no play. Basically that's the whole purpose of this sleeve, because the last hole, it was a little oblong, so it was causing some play and slop on that steering component. But now that we have that sleeve, it's nice and tight. Now that's gonna return the steering back to it being nice and tight, and it won't have any slop in it. So that's what we were trying to achieve. Basically what we're gonna do is here, now we're gonna put everything back together, and it should be back to what we want it to be. This simple fix saved us from replacing the entire knuckle, which sometimes can be expensive and even hard to find. If you like this video, if you like this kind of content and you want to see more off-road repair videos, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Again, this is Pedro with 4 Low Addicts. Build, wheel, break, and repeat. Stay tuned for more content. Again, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Your support is always appreciated. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.
Feel like I should float.